From the blind eternities to your favorite local game store, welcome to Planeswalker Radio, your ultimate source for all things Magic the Gathering. Whether you're slinging spells at Friday Night Magic, brewing the perfect deck, or just diving into the lore of the multiverse, we've got you covered. Join us as we explore the latest set releases, wild deck techs, and the stories behind the cards we love. So grab your deck, shuffle up, and get ready to ignite your spark, because this is Planeswalker Radio. Here at Planeswalker Radio, we love turning cardboard sideways and slinging spells, and it's important to us the place we choose to do that is fun, relaxed, and professional. That's why we choose to buy our cards and accessories at First Player. Their showroom staff in Calgary, Alberta are some of the best in the business with decades of experience. They're always able to help us and members of the community find exactly the correct cards to add to our latest decks. Don't live in Calgary, Alberta? Not to worry, they ship Canada-wide. Check out their website at firstplayer.ca for Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Lorcana, and the accessories to protect your cards. First Player, the heart of the gaming community in the heart of Calgary, Alberta. Find their website linked in the description below. Don't go anywhere, the show is about to begin.
What is up, nerd home? Welcome to another episode of Planeswalker Radio. Today, I'm talking about the 2026 set release.
Well, yeah, this roadmap is it's exciting. It's also a huge point of controversy in the community. I don't know. I've heard a lot of big people speaking up for it, speaking against it. That's pretty crazy.
You know, they released it. They released their schedule last year. They're like, we're doing 6 sets a year, and then they released their schedule this year, and they're like 7 sets. I'm like, why?
Yeah. The funny thing is, they released an article after. I don't know if you saw it, where they're like, "This is going to be a one-off where we do 7 sets. Next year, we're going back to 6 sets."
To 6.
I'm like,
bet you do that. They're gonna do.
They're gonna do.
Yeah.
At very least, it's gonna be 7 again.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
oh, we had just another one.
We just
Oh,
randomly came across one.
Next year will be a one-off where it's 8.
Yeah, one off at 8. So look forward to that in 2027. That being said, guys, let's get right into it. So first set coming out in 2026. We've got Lorwyn Eclipsed.
Strong start point, I think. Strong start point.
You're getting back to the history of Magic, which is great.
Yeah,
it's a set that's been around for a long time. It's a plane that's been around for a long time. It's not a new thing that they're trying to do. It's good solid Magic.
Yeah. It's a development of their own setting
as
well, right? Like one of the things that I know a lot of people are frustrated by is when we look at the entirety of 2026, 3 in universes, 4 universes beyond, right? Or universes within versus universes.
It should be the other way around in the very least.
It should, right? This is a really strong start point. On top of it, when you actually dig into it, Lorwyn is an incredibly interesting and fun plane.
Yeah. We did a bit of research into this, and after the last set release with Una, the Fae Queen dying and stuff like that, there's been development within the world. So lots of cool things coming in with this set specifically. And I like the way they named it with the Eclipse piece.
Yeah.
That really fits into how the plane has transitioned since we've seen Lorwyn last. So it's cool.
It's interesting. I guess for people who aren't familiar with Lorwyn, because it is a mildly older set at this point.
It is, yeah.
It's a high fantasy setting.
Yep.
That feels very Midsummer's Night Dream.
Lots of fae, lots of elves and magic, and the world is magical.
Yeah. This is literally if you walked into what a English idea of fantasy was. This is what you're walking into. The interesting part as well is it's meant to be a kind of paradoxical. Plane, right?
Because you've got Lorwyn, the bright side of the world, and then you've got Shadowmoor, which is the dark side, if you will. So it's really cool. Used to be split, now they're smushed together, hence the Eclipse side of things, which is nifty naming. But you've got kind of a dark inverse of a light positive setting.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
It's interesting because when they flip as well, it changes the personalities of the creatures within, right?
Well, it used to, at least. Now it doesn't flip anymore. You transverse between.
Yeah. And the thing that I think is really interesting as well is when you're in the Eclipse, it doesn't change your personality; it just wipes it. You just turn into a husk. They have a special name for it. I forget what it is, but you basically just turn into this mindless, emotionless
being in there. I think we're going to get a new subtype for creatures
I could see it.
with that.
I could see it.
And
Yep.
I don't know if it'll be good at all, but it'll be interesting
It'll
to see it.
it'll be lore accurate.
It'll be lore accurate, yeah.
And like we said, it'll take place in an actual Magic universe,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah, it'll be really good.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, we're getting back to cards like Ajani, Jace, Liliana, Chandra, Garruk, the original
Yeah.
Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
This is where they came from. So
Yeah.
you know, we're really starting to see a pullback to what we like to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This kind of, the more that I think about it and get into it, this feels a lot like how Foundations felt, where it was going back to the roots
Mhm.
and using that to develop the overall game.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is just a great idea.
Yeah.
Just a great idea.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
I like the idea of, you know, potential advancement on the set as well.
Mhm.
You know, Una's gone. We might see a replacement of some kind, maybe a new commander card come
Yeah.
out of that.
Yeah.
It looks like we're going to be getting 2 new god cards,
Yeah.
which is cool.
These guys are intense when I was looking at them. So the 2 new god cards are Eridu and Isilu, and it's a flip god card, but one of them is the god of Lorwyn, one of them is the god of Eclipse, or sorry, god of Shadowborn. And they're
Shadowborn,
they're
yeah.
like the
I didn't realize it
avatars
was a
almost.
flip card. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's a
That's a
flip
cool
card.
concept.
Like,
They're completely, from the descriptions, they're completely unbiased entities.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not like
It's
once
not evil
loving-
versus good. It's just shadow versus light, and there's
exactly.
goodness in the shadow, and there's darkness in the light. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting concept. I'm excited to see new god cards. I always love to see them.
Yeah.
Especially with the god support we're getting from
From Secret
the
Lair?
Secret Lair
Yeah.
release. There's some good god support in there with
Yeah.
the God of War sets. So could be fun to build a god deck again. Honestly,
Yeah. Hey, they're coming around. This is really great for them. I think there'll be other support for god
Yeah.
cards as well coming
Yeah.
out, and not too much. I think we are going to see a lot of elves, a lot of fae, a lot of merfolk, even
Yeah.
that kind of thing get a ton of new support. Not that elves need it.
Elves definitely didn't.
Like-
Merfolk though, I
Mhm.
like that.
They could use some love for
Yeah.
sure. I don't think they've
Yeah.
gotten any support since the last Ixalan set, which
Yeah.
was a few years ago
Yeah.
now.
It's been a while. Yeah. Moving on up, or down, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Next set being released in 2026 is the Surprise Universes Beyond that they tried to hide from us. Everybody knew it was coming, and then they kind of spoiled it on themselves, and they had to backpedal a little bit. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
This is a difficult one for me. I love the turtles.
He loves the turrets.
I love the I have a shelf in my living room that's just turtle paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah, he's got all of the turtle Funko Pops. He has them all.
Like, yeah.
And I think a couple of them are signed.
One of them is signed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget who by, but yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And so I love them. I don't think I love them in Magic though.
No, it's not really a good fit. You know, we're talking about a very modern, real place. This is New York. This is, you know, I don't know the exact time setting, but it's modern. Like it's within the 2000s for sure.
Yeah.
Turtles have been around for a long time. They have a lot of stuff that they do. There's a lot of enemies. There's a lot of content there.
Mm-hmm.
That gives me a little bit of hope. What doesn't give me hope is the setting doesn't fit Magic.
Yeah. I mean, this feels like a repeat of what Spider-Man just did.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like their idea behind Spider-Man was to expand it and make it a larger set to try and make it not flop like Assassin's Creed did.
Yeah.
And it kind of still flopped like Assassin's Creed did.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Like-
popular with collectors, and you're probably going to see that with Turtles as well.
Yeah.
It'll be popular with people who collect the cards for the cards themselves. I
Yeah.
expect we're going to see a lot of very cool art. Don't get me started on the lands. I hate them. It's pizza.
The
Why?
Pizza Lands.
It's just dumb. But there's probably going to be a lot of very cool art coming from this set because, like I said, Turtles has a huge amount of backstory and lore within its own universe. So
Yeah.
you're going to see some cool things come out of it. But how does it fit into a game of Commander?
Yeah. I also, I mean, we have the issue already of immersion, but I worry how much more this is going to affect the immersion, right?
Yeah.
There's some places where you can stretch it and make it a little bit closer, but when you're sitting at a table and if you've got an active imagination like me and you see it's like dragons versus vampires versus other fantasy creatures, and then you have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show up in the turtle van or that kind of thing.
Yeah. Shredder
Oh
pops
my.
onto the scene, and it's just a robot man.
It's just like there's so many things where I'm trying so hard to make excuses to make it okay.
Yeah,
And the more I look at it, I'm like, a manhole cover or a sewer, it just doesn't, it's not there.
no,
It's not
no,
there.
doesn't quite fit. And unfortunately, that's kind of how I feel about all of the universes beyond, with the exception of the Lord of the Rings set with The Hobbit coming out. But
Yeah.
we'll get to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll get there.
yeah,
It's the whole thing is very it doesn't feel good. It makes me lose a little bit of hope
yeah,
for
yeah.
the direction that we're going.
Now, to bring some hope back, we return to a magic plane. Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
So we've got Secrets of Strixhaven coming out after the Turtles drop.
Mhm.
So this is a return to yet another great old world of magic.
Yeah.
Been around for a long time. Lots of original founder cards came from Strixhaven.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of your dual color identity commanders that are around now, that get played now,
Yeah.
came from this set originally.
Yeah. So there's the five headmasters who are dragons.
Mhm.
These are now really commonly used dual colors.
Absolutely.
The five of them, you have Shadrach Silverquill, Gazaleth Prismari, Beladros Witherbroom, Lorhold Volokmis, and Tanzanir Quandrix.
Solocamus makes me upset.
He does. You know what I love the most about these guys? Honestly, their names.
Yeah.
These are just some of the most
Just good
incredible
names. Yeah.
like fantasy names.
I'm actually probably going to steal one of these names to use as like an MMO character at some point. Like
yeah.
These are aggressively fantasy names.
Yeah,
aggressively fantasy. Yeah, that's a great way to say it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, the cool thing around these 5 cards is within the world of Strixhaven, they each headmaster essentially their own school of magic.
Mhm.
So, once again, magic within magic. It's great. I love it.
Fantastic.
So each of them specializes in their own specific combination. It's a dual
Mhm.
color, sort of set up with the schools, and each of them headmasters their own school and teaches that kind of magic to their pupils, and that's essentially Strixhaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cool thing as well, like these specific, the five dragons aren't actually involved in the process anymore. They set it up, they trained a whole bunch of students. Those students eventually got to the point where they were professors and grant professors and alumni and that kind of thing. And those are what's teaching now. Most of the dragons are off just kind of chilling, doing their own thing.
Just
They don't,
hanging out.
yeah, they don't really care about the school anymore.
Yeah.
But the school has developed itself to where it's self-sustaining now.
Yeah.
Right.
Lots
and
of really
teaching a
cool
bunch.
things around the school as well. So this school is essentially 5 parts of a ginormous city. You've got each different campus has its own place, and then a huge central library as well, which is
Yeah.
really cool. It's the biggest library within the Magic Plains ever.
Yeah.
Just cool.
It's just great.
Yeah.
I think that there's also the Mage Tower, which is basically they're like, you know what, let's make a gladiator arena where we try to make it so people don't die, but also let's make a gladiator arena.
Yeah, let's
Right.
test our schools against each other. It's
Yeah.
like the Triwizard Tournament
Yeah.
or whatever
That's
it is from
that's
Harry Potter.
great. It's actually just violent capture the flag is what it is,
Yeah.
because they're trying to steal each other's mascots and take it home. It's
Yeah.
just
Speaking
combat
of
magic.
mascots, pretty cool to see the mascots as
Yeah.
well. You got Inklings and Fractals and Elementals and different stuff that, you know, we see in the game as tokens typically.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see some support for those as well.
Yeah. More development of them, new art cards for them.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing to move into here is how they are going to develop this story
Mhm.
now, right?
Yeah.
So Strixhaven is a city school type thing that sits on the plane of Avros,
Yep.
and now the story is following the class that we saw before graduate and go out to adventure
Yeah.
in Avros.
Yeah.
Right?
So we're going to see more interaction with the world of the plane.
Mhm.
Things like some of the rogue mages I saw. I can't remember their names now, but there's like a rogue faction of mages that tries to steal students from the school and recruit them to their ranks. So we might see some new classes,
Yeah.
if you will,
Yeah.
coming out of this. We'll see creatures from the plane itself, ancient old elementals, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how this world is going to expand. We
I
might
agree.
get some more mature versions of cards we already have, reprints and
Yeah.
such. And
I'm
Yeah.
hoping for some development on the five dragons.
yeah, that would be cool.
You know, we know what they were like when they were professors and all that. Well, not professors, when they started their school. I think they've like shortly left when we're in Strixhaven the first time.
Yeah.
This time I want to see what have they been doing.
Yeah.
Right? What have they turned into? Are they the same?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Older, more ancient dragons that are perhaps stronger or have more defined abilities based around their school or whatever it might be.
Mhm.
I'm just excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be really fun.
Yep. Absolutely.
I guess we're moving along to another questionable one. This one, it's going to be hit or miss.
Once again, collector piece.
Absolutely
Yeah.
a collector piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one's the Marvel Superheroes Universes Beyond.
Yeah. So similar problem here as what we have with the Turtles, what we had with Spider-Man, what we've had with pretty much every Universes Beyond that has tried to adapt a modern concept, where it's you're set in a world we exist in. Now, the nice thing with this is they're not taking it just from like the Marvel movies or anything like that. It's coming from all of the comics. So, you'll probably see some interaction with multiversal stuff. You'll probably see some space stuff coming in with this. We might see the Dark Aster pop up. Who knows? You might see something like the Sovereign come in. You might see something like Terra Nova come in. You never really know. They could do anything.
Yeah.
But you're also going to be seeing cards from X-Men. You're going to be seeing cards from Marvel that everybody knows, Fantastic Four, different aspects.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing we probably won't see is Spider-Man because they've already done it. Thanks, Sony.
Yeah. I mean, I do think this is partially designed. The way they've done this is to have the Marvel superheroes UB wrap around the Spider-Man UB, kind of insulate it a little bit and finish fleshing out that entire idea. I don't know how well it's going to work because I think there's every chance that we might see New York again or Chicago or something like that as a land, which I'm just not interested in that.
Yeah.
Right. I think a lot of people share that idea as well, that they're just not interested in sitting down to play a game where there's real world cities being played at the table.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? There's a lot of potential hope depending on how they do this.
Yeah.
Again, art cards going to be incredible. That's why I say this is going to be another collector set. You've got years and years of comic books to pull art from, and look at the Spider-Man cards. Some of that comic book art was incredible in those cards.
It was one of the highlights, I think, of the set.
The only highlight.
I hope that they take inspiration from all of the really good TV shows that they've done, like Daredevil, The Punisher.
Yeah, and Ruben brings up a good point. There's lots of smaller worlds that they've done video versions of, Luke Cage and all that fun stuff. Lots of worlds to pull from where you might get some good art, some good characters, but it feels dry at this point. I feel like they've run the modern world dry right now. Because they've done so many Earth-based universes beyond at this point that you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again.
The other thing that I'm thinking is Marvel themselves, since the end of Phase 4, when they finished that entire stretch, there hasn't been that much stuff that's come out. Marvel themselves is kind of
petered off a little bit.
Yeah, they're at the end of the chain. They need to just chill out for a little bit, and this feels like kicking the dead horse.
Yeah,
absolutely. It really does. It doesn't. It's not a thing that I'm thinking, oh, this is incredible, like I was feeling for Infinity War and Endgame, where I'm like, this is the most amazing thing I've seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
This is the She-Hulk.
Yeah. The She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I really hope they don't do a She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also the concern of how are they going to power scale these humans, essentially, into a world where magic exists?
Yeah.
Are you going to see a 5'5" Captain America going up against a 5'5" leader of a school who designed a school and is a dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a struggle with it.
I think we're going to see a lot of that power scale really also be wonky, right? We've already seen that it's wonky with when we take the guy behind the chair and Peter Parker, right? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And we're going to see more of that imbalance coming up with this set. The only positive that maybe we'll get, out of Spider-Man, we got the Soul Stone, which is a incredible card. It's
crazy card.
It's so good.
Yeah.
There are 5 more stones.
Yeah. 5 more Infinity Stones that could be used as any of the colors. lots of cool artifact potential, and again, I think the art will probably be amazing. I'll give them that ahead of time because most likely they're going to do something very similar to Spider-Man, and the art was great in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That was the only highlight for me.
Yeah.
I really hope they don't try and bring in more gimmicky mechanics, but I struggle to believe that they won't.
Yeah, there's a very good chance that they'll bring in more gimmicky mechanics, and I want them to bring in, instead of bringing in a new keyword that again is never going to get support again.
Yeah.
I just want them to either make it into text on specific cards,
Yeah.
or choose
almost like
old
they did with
keywords.
the Secret Lair.
Yeah.
They did that perfectly. There's
Yeah.
no new keywords there, but the cards themselves had text specific that made them work with their set.
Yeah.
If they do that, maybe it'll be okay.
Yeah. They can even do the thing that they do a lot where it's like a named ability, right? They give the ability name
Yeah.
and tell you what the ability is. That's fine. Just don't make a new keyword. We don't
Yeah.
need, right? And there's plenty of keywords that can fit with the idea of heroes and villains and all that,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So I really want them to make sure that they're not doing stuff that's never going to see support.
Yeah.
That's not going to interact with.
We don't
with
need
anything else.
5 new character types and creature types. Like, I don't need any more scientists. I'm
Yeah.
good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah. But I mean, we could probably harp on this all day. To be honest, we're not excited.
As y'all know, as avid listeners, we do not like Universes Beyond. Apart from this next one.
We don't like poorly done Universes Beyond.
Fair. The next one we're going to be talking about is The Hobbit. I am actually pretty excited for this one. The Lord of the Rings Universes Beyond was an incredible set.
Yeah.
Still gets tons of play today.
Yeah.
It's not a Universes Beyond that was at the forefront and then disappeared after the hype wore down. This is a set that is, even now, active. It is an active set being played.
Yeah.
We have people who play the Eowyn deck all the time. Even as a precon, that deck is great.
Yeah.
My wife has Frodo and Sam.
Yeah.
It sees play. Sauron is still a huge card. We're coming up on our black episode. We pulled a couple of black lands out of the Lord of the Rings set. They did it good.
Like, yeah.
So if they follow that blueprint, Hobbit's going to be great too.
I agree. This is the Lord of the Rings set was an excellent blueprint for what Universes Beyond should be built like.
Absolutely.
It's like you said, it's still relevant today.
Yeah.
A lot of other UBs, especially ones that use like modern or futuristic type settings, are not relevant, right? You
Yeah.
look at like Doctor Who, not relevant.
Yeah.
Like we
know people who play it, but it's so niche.
It's
so niche.
Yeah. It's got zero interaction. And one of the interesting things about Lord of the Rings, they did have their own mechanic, only one, and it was the ring mechanic.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But it's not a major mechanic. It doesn't
Yeah.
need more support. It's specific to cards that it makes sense on.
Yeah, and going off of it being relevant, we see Lord of the Rings packs still selling at basically the same price they used
Yeah.
to, if not more in some situations. A
Yeah.
collector booster for Lord of the Rings is still a valuable item. Sure, collector boosters for other UB sets are valuable, but they always drop in price, and Lord of the Rings just hasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stability behind that set is incredible. And I don't think they've maintained stability in that set in any other one other than maybe Final Fantasy, which is still holding up pretty well.
Yeah.
But a lot of the other ones, even some of my favorites like Warhammer 40K and all that,
Yeah.
The prices are dropping on them because for the most part they're not relevant anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
And I mean, enough talking about Lord of the Rings. Let's talk about The Hobbit specifically here.
Absolutely.
We're going to see mechanics and creatures and, everything like that is already in the game. It's not going to be new stuff brought in.
Mhm.
We're going to see dragons, Smaug. We're going to see hobbits. They're not really in the game, but they exist because of the Lord of the Rings. Dwarves, elves, humans. We're going to see things that exist within magic.
Even returning mechanics like the ring mechanic will guaranteed make a comeback. It'll be made more relevant, right?
Yeah.
Which is harping on the idea of these, when they're adding mechanics in, there should be expanding support in future
Exactly.
sets.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I think we're going to get here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, realistically, at the end of the day, we've said a lot of good things about Lord of the Rings. I really hope The Hobbit doesn't just ride its coattails and like float in and be like, I'm going to be popular because I'm Lord of the Rings based.
Yeah.
I hope they actually put effort into it.
Yeah. You're right. This has the chance of essentially being a nepotism baby.
Yeah,
Is what this could be,
absolutely.
right? I think it's such a rich environment and story to tell. Even Hobbit, just from Lord of the Rings, is
Yeah.
good. And
There's a lot more. Lord of the Rings was all about human struggle against orcs.
Yeah.
Whereas Hobbit is you've got more dwarves, you got more elves, you got orcs and goblins still. They still exist. They're still part of the story, of course.
Mhm.
But it's more about the other races of Middle Earth as well, which is nice. So we're gonna see probably all of the dwarves. I would assume every single dwarf
Yeah.
is going to get a named character card, which is awesome. Dwarf support, love it.
Yeah.
We're going to see elves coming in with the Mirkwood elves specifically instead of the
Lothlorien elves.
Lothlorien elves. So Mirkwood elves instead of Lothlorien elves. That's going to be an interesting play on the elf mechanic. Maybe a little bit more of a green black instead of a
Yeah.
green white,
Yeah.
which would be kind of cool. Lots of Hobbit support still, most likely. I mean, Bilbo was really the only Hobbit, but he'll be there. There'll maybe be younger versions of Frodo might come in. Who knows?
Yeah.
Gandalf might be there. Radagast might be there. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But there's lots of stuff that is already in world that we're going to see support for in just a slightly different light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I mean, the hints that were kind of dropped. They put this is almost directly off of the website. But they dropped in that hint, they dropped in the scriptures for Bilbo, for Smaug, and the Lonely Mountain, which
It's cool.
the Lonely Mountain itself, I believe, is already a card, but Smaug is only a token. He doesn't have his own card.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think we're going to get an actual one. They've said that they're going to be bringing in support for trolls
That's cool.
specifically,
Yeah.
which is interesting because there's not that much
No.
out there.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of them expanding versus just making new.
Yeah.
Right. And then they also said the Secret in the Dark, which I think might be a reference to a specific card. It might end up being a face card or something like that
Yeah.
for the set.
Yeah.
I'm unsure.
Could be a saga based.
It
Right?
could be
like
saga.
riddle, because that Secrets in the Dark is Bilbo getting the ring from Gollum, right?
Yeah.
So it could be a saga, like you get the ring and then you steal something, or who knows?
Who
I don't
knows?
know, right? But there's
Yeah.
lots of cool things that they can do with that story.
Yeah.
And the book itself is small, but because of the movies, they've expanded it. And say what you will about the movies, but it's given us more to go
Yeah.
off of with
I agree.
with this set.
I agree.
I think they're going to be able to pull in more goblins, like the Goblin King might come in. You might see cards like what's his face, the orc guy with the scars and the one
Azog.
hand.
Yeah.
Azog.
Azog.
You might see Azog the Defiler come in as
And Grond, not Grond.
Grond's the
Who's-
big
Yeah.
battering ram.
Who's the
Grond is technically a lieutenant of Morgoth, but that's fine.
his lieutenant?
Yeah, whatever. Gordo,
Yeah.
Gordo, or whatever. Yeah, whatever
Gordo.
his name, whatever his name was.
Gordo, the orc.
Gordo the orc. That is my new screen name.
Yeah.
Please only call me Gordo the orc from now
Oh.
on. Yeah, lots of really good stuff that they can pull from
Yeah.
because those movies exist that maybe they wouldn't have been able to because if it was just the book.
Yeah.
So say what you will about the movies, but it's given us a lot of potential characters.
Yeah.
Bolg. His name is not Gordo, it's Bolg.
So wrong though, like Gordo better.
I did like Gordo.
Yeah.
I could relate with Gordo.
But Gordo is what they named the orc because they're like, that's the weird orc.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
just in the
He's
corner.
got a
doing
normal
Rubik's
name.
Cube. Like,
But enough excitement. I think we're going to see a lot of excitement, a lot of hype around this set.
Yeah.
I think of all of the universes beyond they're doing, this is going to be the peak of it. This is a set I'm actually excited for with universes beyond. I don't know about you.
yeah, I'm absolutely excited. I think they have excellent potential with this set.
Mhm.
I think there's also the danger that they could mess it up pretty
Yeah,
badly.
yeah.
So this is an only time will tell type thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for it though.
This is the only time you'll ever hear us say thumbs up, approved, universes beyond.
Yeah. Good job. You done did it.
Next up.
This one, this is our big mystery. I
Yeah.
think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was meant to be a mystery, and they really fumbled that with the bus ads. But reality
food
Fracture.
truck.
Yeah, it was just on. They put it on vehicles, and we're like, oh, we don't know what the next set's going to be. Or like, and then they're like, we might as well just tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this one's the actual mystery. Reality Fracture. They have told us almost nothing. I literally, when I was doing this, I've just pulled out quotes,
Yeah.
and that's all we have to go, right? So the first thing, this is what they, in their announcement, this is what they told us. This is a direct quote off their website. Years of subtle machinations will finally shatter the facade, revealing a villain you'll have to see to believe, but not just yet. More will be unveiled soon.
I've been thinking about this.
Mhm.
I read this statement a while ago, and I've been really trying to rack my brain around what it could be.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who could be a villain that we know of or have heard of so far that we could never fathom, right?
Yeah.
And there's some, a lot of people are going to like a Johnny and that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
like I could see one
Right.
of the planeswalkers turning evil,
Yeah.
maybe, but even still, that just
And-
doesn't quite feel right.
And it already happened when they did the new Phyrexia and March of the Machines, where
yeah.
they became completed and they turned into bad guys
Yeah.
that were Phyrexian, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just, the only thing that I can think of is there's a new villain who's related to things that we know, but we don't really know because they've been setting it up quietly for a little while.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I can think of.
Yeah, I mean the slogan for the set is the multiverse meets its match. So obviously this is pulling all of the planes together in some way or another. That's what that sounds like to me, at least, because it's talking about the multiverse of Magic. Maybe they're somehow tying all of the planes into one with this set. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Th-
really, really hard to tell.
This is essentially, to tie in Marvel here in a humorous way, Reality Fracture sounds like Magic is about to get its own Thanos level threat.
There you go.
That's what's coming.
I can't remember the name of the villain from the Fantastic Four movie. You know, the Silver
Galactus?
Surfer.
Silver Surfer,
Yeah,
Doom,
Galactus. Almost like an external planar threat.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But yeah, I think whatever it is something that was born in the Blind Eternities, and now it's coming to devour worlds and
Yeah.
planes of existence.
Could see it
Yeah.
happening. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, moving on from the big secret, because there's not much more we can tell
There's-
you about it.
There's no other information.
Yeah, none. Moving on from there, we come to our last UB of the year. And this one is probably my hardest to contemplate. I guess it makes sense with things like Edge of Eternities that came out. You have that spaceship support now, but we're talking about Star Trek. Just set your phasers to stun. I don't know if that's Star Trek or not, because it is. Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Star Trek. I can't imagine setting my phaser to stun and then phasing somebody into oblivion. It doesn't work. It's not magic. It's a phaser. It's technology. I don't like it.
Yeah. I think there's so many things that are wrong with this. There are a few things that are right. There
Yeah.
are, diversity of races where you have like Vulcans
Absolutely.
who likely they'll be called Vulcans, but they'll have some sort of link to elves to make it so it interacts.
You're introducing a
hope.
race that exists.
Like that kind of
Congratulations.
thing. I really, I think it is a confusing set.
Yeah.
I also think that there could be some interesting things that happen, right? For
Yeah.
instance, we've seen space stations.
Yeah. Starship
that.
Enterprise. We've got Deep Space
Deep
Nine.
Space Nine,
Yeah.
right? That kind of thing.
Different stations could come into being in this, and like I said, because of the Edge of Eternity support that we got at the end of this year,
Yeah.
there could be support for this to be okay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't fit. I have issues with seeing Patrick Stewart or Chris Pine on a card.
Yeah.
I
I
just-
really struggle with that as well
Yeah.
because it happened in the Doctor Who set,
Yeah,
right?
with David Tennant being the Doctor on like half of the cards.
It's just
I'm gonna play David Tennant.
exactly right. It shatters the immersion
Yeah.
so badly
Yeah.
that it makes it difficult to play, right? I don't even think this is going to be a collector set. I think this set's just going to flop. There's Trekkies out there. I enjoy Star Trek as much as the next guy.
Yeah.
Right. I've watched not as much as a lot of Trekkies out there, but I watched all of Voyager. I've seen all of the new Picard stuff, right?
Yeah.
I've dabbled in some of the other stuff. This has no place, I think, in Magic.
I think potentially what they're trying to do with this set is reach out to the Trekkies, because there's thousands of them.
Yeah.
They're an expansive group.
It's too many.
Too many. They're an expansive group, and realistically, there's a lot of people they could pull in with this set. So maybe that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to pull in new people who have not played Magic, and it's Star Trek. Woo!
Yeah.
I just
Just to play devil's advocate for a second here, I think that is the goal exclusively of Universes Beyond.
Yes.
It is.
Yes, and Ruben is right. He said from off camera, just in case you didn't hear, that is the goal of Universes Beyond, is pull in people who like a fandom and now they're playing Magic.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I just wish it wasn't.
Here's my issue with it is I think when you're doing that kind of thing, I understand having a product that's designed specifically to bring people into using your product.
Yeah.
I get that 100%.
Yeah.
It should be done without being at the detriment of your existing community.
Absolutely.
Right? This is like already when you go online onto the Reddit forums, it's making people think it might be time to sell my collection.
Yeah.
It might be time to get out of the game.
Yeah.
Right.
And realistically, again, like you said, there could be some great things that come out of this. There's the potential for some great lands. I think the lands specifically could be incredible in this set. You know, you've got lots of different planets that they go to. You got lots of different biomes, different things that you could do. Vehicles probably going to get a
good
lot of support.
Yeah.
Lots of spaceships, lots of smaller spaceships, lots of bigger spaceships. They'll get support. So there are potentially good things that will come from this set, but if they do something like a teleport mechanic, which I can see them doing, and they don't just make it either a warp or a blink or some form of thing that's already exists, it's going to be wasted.
Yeah.
Just like web slinging.
Yeah. I think they can do this without introducing new mechanics.
Yeah.
I think they can.
They absolutely can. There are existing mechanics that fit within this universe that you could pass off as a reasonable mechanic.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to do the same thing as they did with web slinging, and they're going to try and create a new mechanic for this set, and this set is just never going to get supported.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is. I haven't encountered a UB yet that I believe it is neither a playable nor a collector set.
Yeah.
And once we do the set review at the end of next year, we'll know
know.
if that's actually true.
We'll know.
But looking at the preliminary stuff, I think it's going to fail on both fronts.
Yeah.
I think it's also going to harm the community. I don't think that this is going to be massive positive.
If this was the reason, like if this set specifically is the reason they wanted to do 7 set releases this year, they should have just not.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, to give it a bit of a positive spin on this, because I don't want to be all down on it, to give a positive spin on this,
he's better than I am.
There are going to be some fun things, I think, that come out of this. I think instance and sorcery things, if they make it kind of like you're interacting with technology and all that kind of stuff, is set specifically, it could be really immersive and really fun. There could be some really interesting interactions that come out of it.
I could see something like a instant card that gives you unblockable that is like warp speed. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. I think
beam me up, like
yeah,
spells.
yeah, beam me up, blink spells,
in fact,
totally.
Beam me up is almost guaranteed going to be a card.
Yeah,
like
set phases to stun or whatever, put stun counts on creatures.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thematics.
Yeah,
there are things that they could do to make this set flow nicely. My money's on they won't.
I agree. I think this one, I think all of them except for maybe the Lorwyn and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at this point are speculation. We don't actually know. This is just kind of what we think, and we'll have to wait and see. And we'll be doing set reviews on all of these. So as we see it, you guys will also see it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, in closing, because that's all of our sets for next year, I would say that they've kind of gone in the wrong direction with this. If you're going to do an odd number of sets, make it so that the Universes Beyond is the smaller of those two numbers at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a 50-50 split, maybe more digestible. But even then, I would say universes should be smaller than strict releases.
I just want them to focus on their own product.
Yeah.
They built such a good product, and now they're diluting it, which in some cases I'm not opposed to. Right? There's some that are really great and have done really well.
Yeah. But Final Fantasy, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I would even say the 40K universe, even though it's not as prevalent anymore, was a good fit.
And it was a fun set when it was out, and it was relevant for a little while afterwards, at least, right?
Yeah.
And there's still a few cards, a few of the demon cards and all that, that are
Mhm.
still relevant. It's not like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
though.
it's not dead, but it's just not
But-
as alive.
And nobody was upset about it.
No.
Right?
No.
The amount of people that are upset about things like Star Trek right now is astronomical.
Yeah.
There are so many.
Yeah.
Right? So I think we just have to take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
Watch how it plays out. I hope whatever the end result of all this is, that Wizards of the Coast also learns from
Yeah,
what's
I hope we
happening.
don't have a repeat in 2020. I hope we don't
Yeah.
have to come back to you next year in November or December, whenever we do our 27 release, and say they've done it again.
Yeah.
I really hope that's not the case. I hope we see, a 2-to-1 ratio of some kind, where it's, 2 sets that are within universe to 1 Universes Beyond, rather than what we're getting right now, which is a 4-to-3, I guess, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am excited for Lorwyn. I am excited for Strixhaven. I
Yeah.
am excited for The Hobbit.
Yeah.
But that's 3 of 7.
I'm excited for Reality Fracture as well.
Well, yeah, again,
But like,
fair enough.
also we don't know anything
don't
about
know.
it, so it's pretty hard to
Hard to be
do that.
excited about something we
Yeah.
don't know about.
I guess with that, guys, though, just remember, make the deck about you, the game all about the gathering. We'll see you next time.
Adios.